Hi everyone, I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and welcome to County Line. Hi everyone, I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and welcome to County Line, the program featuring news and information about Allen County government. Don't know if you can hear behind me, but those are the sounds of spring. We all wish it felt a little more like spring. We are promised that it will get warmer. And as springtime approaches, it's a perfect opportunity to take advantage of some of the programs and activities that will be taking place in our Allen County Park system. Jeff Baxter is the superintendent of Allen County Parks, and he's here with us today to talk a little bit about what you can expect this spring, summer, and fall. First of all, Jeff, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks to your buddies also for showing up
right
on time. Let's talk about some of the things that will be coming up here in the very near future. Of course, the big event that you have in spring that will be here in the month of May is Sol Fest. Tell us about that.
Sol Fest is May 4th and 5th this year. It's always the first weekend of May out at Fox Island County Park. Be noon to 7 each day. It's a fundraiser for our Youth Scholarship Fund, which is a great idea. We can send kids that can't afford to come to day camps to our day camps then. We've got music set up for both days. It's noon to 7. Then there's Matt Anthony's going to sponsor their beer garden again, so you can have a beer while you're listening to music. Okay. We got kids area, some food from Central Lions Club. So. And
it's really amazing, all of the things that you have to go on that day.
Yeah, we've got, you can come out and try a canoe or a kayak, you can try out bicycles. We got some environmental groups bringing some literature out, and the music's great. So.
It really is. It's so fun, entertaining, and informative as well.
And the kids, for something kids to do too. So.
Now, what's the price as far as getting in for that?
Since it's our fundraiser, our annual passes aren't good that weekend, but it's $5 a person. Kids 11 and under are free that weekend.
So it's still a great deal to come out for an entire day or two of fun. Yeah. Now, you'll also be having, during the summer months, some camps for young people. Tell us a little bit about what you've got planned.
Yeah, we've got 4 camps this year. Starting in June, we'll have 2 weeks out here at Fox Island and then 2 weeks at Matea. One of them's a survivor camp, wilderness survival camp, which is a lot of fun. They learn to build debris shelters, learn to cook outside, that kind of thing, backpack. And the 4th week we have yet unnamed, but I guarantee you it'll be loads of fun. We swim just about every day each of those 4 weeks. One of them we learn to canoe at.
And I think this is mainly in the month of July. Is that when these usually take place?
We'll have 2 weeks in June, and then we take a week off for July 4th holiday, and then 2 weeks after that at Matea.
And then, and as he mentioned, it's on their website, allencountyparks.org. So if you go there, you can find out specific information about the dates, times, and the fees that are involved as well.
It's daily, Monday through Friday.
And you've got stuff that'll be taking place on a fairly regular basis for kids and adults as well. I mean, you've got things like Tai Chi. I don't know if people know that
we've got Tai Chi going on Wednesday nights right now. I think we take a break for the summertime on that one. But we've got a Go Fishing workshop April 10th that's going to be going on. We've got preschool classes. We've expanded our homeschool programming to include Fox Island as well. So go to our website or give us a call. So either one.
And I know this time of year, specifically during the month of April, you've got some courses taking place for the Master Naturalists?
Right now in the Nature Center, we got the Junior Indiana Master Naturalist class going on. It's a spring camp that we have for 9 to 13-year-olds, but we'll have it again next year. They get certified by the Department of Natural Resources as naturalists. We also are in the middle, they're on a hiatus right now, but we're in the middle of the Indiana Master Naturalist class, which is for adults 18 and over.
Okay. So again, check out the website and you'll find out more about some of the classes that will be taking place during the summer months. That's what's coming up in the immediate future. Let's talk a little bit way out into the future. I know that you folks are working on your master plan for Allen County Parks. Tell us a little bit about the purpose of that and how that's going.
Well, the master plan process, we just completed it. The board approved it, and we submitted it to the Department of Natural Resources, and they've approved it as meeting all their minimum requirements. So we'll have the final draft posted on the website. It's just a way of planning for the next 5 years as to what we want to do strategically, capital improvement wise, how we want to change program and how we want to get public input, which we always are striving to do a better job at that, and we need to do better in the next 5 years. It's a 5-year master plan that they require from the Indiana Department of Natural Resources. If you want to apply for any grants, federal money or state money that they administer, you have to have a master plan on file with them. So we do one every 5 years. This time, as a collaboration, we did it with the City of Fort Wayne Parks and New Haven Parks, all at the same time, because a lot of the information in the plan, demographic-wise and county-wise, is the same information. So there's no reason to pay three different people to do three different things. But the bulk of what we at Allen County Parks want to do is in our master plan, and then theirs are respective to their
anytime there's the possibility of getting some federal grant money, they want to know what you're doing now and what you're planning to do in the future.
And it's a good idea to have the plan, because we not only use the master plan for that, we use the master plan for when we're updating our county strategic plan, when we're going in front of county council for budget hearings, that kind of thing. It's good to have all those things in there and mention. And we have a lot of support from other groups too. So when it's in our master plan and we can show that we've thought about it and thought through it.
I think one of the things that the parks system here in Allen County really wants to do is just get people to come out and see what's available. It seems like people aren't aware of it. They don't know that much about it. And when they come out, they're pretty amazed at what you have out here.
We have a beautiful treasure out here at Fox Island. Matea is the same way on the northeast end of town. And even Peyton and Cooks offer their own little piece of the pie that we have with the Allen County Parks. And it's nature. You can get on the internet anymore, and I do, my kids do, everybody does, but there are just some things you can't download. I mean, you can listen to a frog on the internet, sure, but being out here and actually being where the frog's at, it's a whole different story. Woodpeckers and everything else. It's totally different.
And you've got a great trail system for hiking.
Yep, we have total for the whole park system over 14, 15 miles past to hike.
So it's a great opportunity to come out just to take a walk. Like you
say, you can relax out here. Just come out and turn your cell phone off for a while. You can actually survive without looking at your Facebook page. And
admission is very reasonable.
Yes, it's only $2 a person. You can buy an annual pass.
Right.
So, and if you've never been to one of my parks or our parks before,
that's okay.
Okay, one of our parks before, I sort of,
of course,
I get attached to them. If you've never been out here before and you just want to try it out, pay the $2 entry fees. Kids 6 and under are free. If you like it and you think you're going to want to come back, we have annual passes. And if you come back that day with your receipt, we'll knock the price that you've already paid off the annual pass, and you can come out to any of our parks for 365 days. And
I know you're always looking for some help from volunteers. I know you've got a couple of groups that get behind the park system here in Allen County and help out a great deal.
Yeah, and our volunteers are great. The two partnering organizations that we have are the Fox Island Alliance and Friends of Matea, and they do a wonderful job of supporting us in everything we do. If you want to volunteer out here, again, go to the website. It'll give you some information and contact people to get a hold of. Ron and Natalie out here would be happy to talk to you. Bob out at Matea would be happy to talk to you, or either one of the organizations. We have links to both their sites too. Okay. Hey, I appreciate it, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. We always enjoy coming out here to the parks, taking a look at what you've got out here, and just letting people know what's available to them here in Allen County. If you want to know more, AllenCountyParks.org is the website. Find out about Solfest coming up in May, about the summer camps that will be going on in June and July for the kids, and also about the summer and fall events that will be going on for young people and people who are young at heart as well. Yes. Jeff, thanks again. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Highway projects here in Allen County don't just spring up overnight. In fact, planning for some of these projects can take years and even decades in advance before they become reality. The Northeastern Indiana Regional Coordinating Council is the agency that's responsible for putting together these plans, and NIRCC, as it's also known, is busy at work right now on a couple of the plans, one a short range, one a much longer range. Dan Avery is the Executive Director of NIRCC. He's here today to talk a little more about these plans, how they're put together, and also ways in which you can help contribute to the formation of these plans. First of all, Dan, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it, as always. Let's talk about the two plans. Now, the first one you're working on is called the 2014 to 2017 Transportation Improvement Program. Kind of give us an idea of what that's about and what period, obviously 2014 to 2017, but a little bit about how you put that together.
Okay. That is a series of projects, both highway, transit, and trail infrastructure that we intend to spend federal money on over the next 4 years, over the next 4 fiscal years. There are projects that come out of the transportation plan when the local public entities such as Allen County, City of Fort Wayne, City of New Haven are ready to advance a project. We move that project into the Transportation Improvement Program, which serves as a capital improvement program to get the projects under design, get any right-of-way that needs to be acquired as part of that project, and then construct the project.
Now, NIRCC doesn't actually do that work as far as getting the right-of-way and that kind of thing. That's left up to the government entities to take care of?
That's correct.
Your role in it is what exactly?
Our role is programming the projects, making sure that there are federal funds available, as most of these projects that we advance in that we refer to it as the TIP. Most of those are 80% federal funded projects. The locals provide the 20%. So we make sure the money's there. We make sure that the project advances properly. But you're correct, Mike. The local public entities, Allen County, City of Fort Wayne, they're the agencies that are responsible for actually doing the actual work, hiring the consultants and the contractors in conjunction with the Indiana Department of Transportation to get those projects completed and built.
And folks may be surprised to find out that you're involved in plans for trails and such. Probably when they think of transportation or highway plans, they're thinking of four wheels, cars, trucks, etc. But you're looking at some other modes of transportation.
That's correct. Some of our planning partners include the trail groups. They include the CityLink transit service, the CountyLink transit service. So collectively, the Transportation Improvement Program covers not only the highway, but trail projects that are also eligible for federal funding, and the transit projects that also receive federal dollars to put the buses out on the street.
Okay. Now, the other plan you're working on is the draft 2035 Transportation Plan. That's sort of a crystal ball type of plan, I assume.
It is to a certain degree. You know, it covers projects. It looks at what our current transportation needs are. We do a lot of traffic monitoring. We look at where we currently have congestion, where we currently have deficiencies on the transportation system. And then we also look at, primarily based on the comprehensive plan, how the community wants to grow, where that growth is going to occur, and then project or forecast what that future travel demand is going to be based on the comprehensive plan, and then develop projects that will help support the travel needs based on that comprehensive plan. So some of the projects are only 5, 6, 7 years out. Others are more in the 20-year range. So.
And probably one of the most recent plans that just came to completion that serves as kind of a good example of what we're talking about, the Maple Crest Road extension. People looked at that and some felt, well, this should have been done a lot sooner. It should have been finished a lot earlier. In fact, it finished right about when the original long-range transportation plan expected it to, did it not?
It was fairly close to that schedule. Of course, funding, and particularly on that project, because the scale of the project and the cost of the project made it fairly unique. But you're right, in the scope of the planning process, we've seen various pieces of the Maple Crest Road corridor done over the last 15 years or so, everything from extending it north to tie in with 469, to widening some sections between 469 and Stellhorn Road, and then the new piece that was just completed by Allen County between Lake Avenue and State Road 930. And then you will notice, for instance, in the TIP, the two sections from Lake to State that we haven't done yet, and from State to Stellhorn, are now in the TIP to kind of complete that corridor. And through the planning process, it's kind of how we accomplish that, because we don't have the funding to do it all at once.
So the plan also helps with the orderly progression of some of these larger projects that agencies might be working on.
That's correct.
And it sounds like you work in coordination with a lot of different agencies as you're putting this long-range plan together. Kind of give us an idea of who else you're getting input from.
That's correct. We work with, of course, the transit operator. We work with the airport authority. We work with the city of Fort Wayne, city of New Haven, of course, Allen County. We also work very closely with the Indiana Department of Transportation, because there are a number of roadways, and some of our primary roadways are under their jurisdiction. We also meet with smaller communities like Huntertown, Grable, Leo, Cedarville, because they also fall within our planning jurisdiction, in any projects that they believe that they would like to see to improve their communities also end up into the transportation plan.
Do you also help with the prioritization of plans, as far as here's the one we think you need to be looking at first, second, third, fourth down the line?
We do assist in that. A lot of the traffic data that we collect helps kind of steer which projects progress or advance first. But at the same time, we also want our local elected officials and our decision makers, who have to commit the dollars to these projects, have control over the selection of which projects get advanced over another. So there's a collective process that we work together through to develop the TIP, which is that mechanism for moving those projects to construction. So it's a collective process.
And a very laborious as far as gathering a lot of data, I would imagine.
We do a lot of studies, a lot of data, a lot of discussion with our planning partners on which projects should advance.
I mean, you're looking at things like traffic flows, population expectations in certain areas, like you said, areas that you expect to grow, I imagine, both from a residential standpoint and also from a business and industrial standpoint.
Yes. We monitor the development through census information. We monitor building permits, land use permits, so we know where the community is growing. Of course, we collect a lot of traffic data. We know where the volumes are increasing. We do intersection studies to measure what the level of service is at an intersection, to make sure it's performing where we want it to. Sometimes it's a simple fix of a left turn lane or right turn lane to improve the overall conditions of the intersection. But sometimes you need more lanes, either north or south, east or west of that intersection, to make it function properly. So then that leads to a widening type project on a roadway, like DuPont Road is one that's currently in the TIP between Coldwater and Lima Road, where 2 lanes just no longer serve the capacity there due to the growth, due to what we anticipate some future growth. So that's one of the projects you'll find in the TIP, to add additional travel lanes on that facility. And
of course, as with any project, you're also having to take a look out there at what dollars are available, because many of these cannot be financed solely by the local government entity. You're looking at federal and state dollars that's available.
That's correct. We get an allocation of federal funds annually, and part of the NIRCC function. Again, very strong collaboration with the planning partners. We manage those funds and make decisions on how they should be spent.
Okay. Now, both the 2014 to 2017 TIP, the Transportation Improvement Program, as well as the draft 2035 Transportation Plan, are available online for folks to view at NIRCC's website, which is
NIRCC.com.
Okay, so you can go there and take a look at what both of those plans look like and get an idea of some of the projects that we're looking at doing in the future. But Dan, from the public standpoint, how can they help you in terms of putting these programs and plans together?
Well, we like to hear from the public which projects are most important to them. We also like to hear comments about how the system's performing. We do a lot of traffic counts. We do a lot of data and data analysis, but we don't always know where all the problematic areas are within the region. So we also rely on citizens who are driving the roads every day, walking the trails, taking transit, to send us comments about what they like and what they don't like, what are the needs. How can we how can we improve the system to fulfill their needs? Where do they see problem areas, so that we can then collect information. We will follow up on those comments. We'll take those to our subcommittees to review them, gather data, and then we'll respond back to their comments. All comments that we receive on the TIP or the transportation plan get documented as part of that plan. That's one of the federal requirements. So we really look for them to be our sounding board to help guide the decision-making process as to what's important to the community, where are the problem areas, where should we be spending our precious dollars.
Yeah, collecting, studying, and analyzing that data is very important, but just as important is hearing from the folks who are actually using
That's right.
the highways and paths and so
That's
forth. Right. You just recently had an open house to let folks take a look at the plans as well as gather information, and you're going to be holding another one here in the near future.
That's correct. As part of the planning process, once we've made a final decision on what the draft is, and we also have to make an air quality conformity determination, because we have been in non-compliance in the past with our air quality. We are a maintenance area, meaning we meet the federal regulations, but we have to continue to prove to the federal government, to the U.S. EPA, and the Federal Highway Administration that we are staying on that path of clean air. And so once we have finalized the determination, then we will go out once again prior to final adoption of the TIP and the transportation plan to get public input so they can see what we're proposing as that final product before it's acted on.
And you're looking at probably sometime in May.
So yeah, sometime in early May, I would suspect that will take place.
Okay.
Of course, they can always go to the website. We will take comments year-round. Anytime someone sees a problematic area, shoot us an email and we'll investigate. Sometimes it won't be immediately, it may take a month or two, but we're open to comment year-round.
And if folks want to send a letter directly here, they send it to room 230 here at 200 East Berry, Citizen Square. Yes. That's where the NIRCC office is located. You mentioned also you can go on the website and submit an email from there.
That's correct.
Okay. And be watching and expecting this open house coming up sometime, probably, as Dan said, in May. We'll certainly let you know about it through the news media and also through the county website, www.allencounty.us. So you'll be aware of your opportunity to have a say about the transportation plan and the future of what our highways and roads will look like here in Allen County as well as the region. Dan, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Thanks for explaining more about how we get our roads and highways put together and just the time it takes to put all these plans into place. Thanks again.
Yep, thank you.
Well, most everyone thinks they know what it's like to be a police officer from what they've seen on television shows and in the movies. But here in Allen County, you get a unique opportunity each year to find out what a law enforcement officer really does, and you get it directly from the source. It's called the Allen County Sheriff's Citizens Academy, and we're going to talk about the one that's coming up here in 2013 with Allen County Sheriff Ken Freeze and also Laura Braun, who's an administrative assistant in the training division for the Sheriff's Department. And first of all, Kenny, thanks for giving us some time to come out here to your facility out on Adams Center Road where the courses take place.
Glad to do it. I think it's very important that the citizens realize we do this, and hopefully we can get a lot of them out here.
What's the history behind this? How did it get started, and why was it started?
It actually started under the COPS program under the Herman administration. We sent officers to Florida. They looked at different programs, and this is the one thing that they brought back that said they think we could do to get citizens involved. So it started back then and has just grown since then. We continue to do it. It's, I think, a great program for the citizens. We'd like to do it twice a year. Budget constraints has us cut it down to one.
And what kind of, you're just looking for anyone out in the general public. We're not talking about any particular set of individuals.
That's correct. People ask us, what can we do? What can we do to get involved? And this is the first thing they can do to get involved. And we tell them during this, stay involved. When you're done with the class, become a good witness. That's what we need. That's what the police need. That's what the citizens need. They want to know, what do we do to get involved? This is the way to start.
Well, Laura, let's talk a little bit about the Academy for this year. What are the dates for it?
It's going to start August 21st, and it'll go through a 12-week program. Then we have a graduation at the end of the program.
Okay. And how many people can you accommodate in the Academy?
We can accommodate up to 50.
Okay. Tell us a little of the things they'll be going through when they're out here. Obviously, there's going to be some classroom instruction, but there are activities that take place out in the field as well.
That's correct. We do have a lot of classroom instruction. We do a lot of tours of our buildings, our jail facility, courthouse, and so on. And a lot of our classroom ultimately ends up either outdoors or hands-on, and so that's always nice.
Okay. And Kenny, there's no cost involved in terms of money, but there is a cost involved in terms of a commitment from the folks who sign up.
Right. We're looking for people to show up every week to do this. It's a 12-week commitment. It's 3 hours a night, I believe, and really that's how we build from one day to the next. On what you learned the last time, you learn the next time. And emergencies do come up, and we know people may not be able to make it all, but yes, we're looking for those people that want to come out and learn what we do. And I tell people the first night when I'm here, when you see a policeman turn on his red lights and go someplace, you know it's an emergency because you've sat here and learned what we can and what we can't run on. People wonder why we do certain things. They learn it in this class, straight from the officers.
And just how hands-on are we talking about? Kind of describe a few of the things that you do out in the field with the class participants.
They will be allowed to do ride-alongs when the program is over. They will be out on the range with the handguns. They will do a crime scene that our crime scene technicians set up and actually let them walk through and let them try to determine what happened here in this crime. They get to work with the canines. They have the SWAT team demonstrations. It's a very good program to let them get a snapshot of our entire department.
What kind of feedback do you get from people who've been through this? What do they tell you they got out of this the most?
I think the thing that I find most striking is I've done this for 30 years, so police work doesn't surprise me. To them, they're all shocked and amazed. They have no idea that, number one, we have the dedicated employees we have, that we do what we do behind the scenes, and they don't know it. Every one of them has said they'd come back through it again. If anybody has any questions about whether they should do it, get a hold of somebody who's been through the Citizens Academy, and they'll tell you this is probably one of the best things they've ever done.
Laura, how do people register for this? I know the registration period isn't starting for a while, but at least as they're hearing about this, they can start thinking about whether they can make this kind of commitment. When do they need to start contacting your department to make reservations?
We're going to accept applications for the month of July. You may receive those applications prior to that. You can either call us, and you can call myself at 260-449-7415. You can email us, or you can go to our county website, theallencountysheriff.org, and receive applications through that.
Okay. And what kind of information do you need from them? Just the basics?
Basics, pretty much basics.
Okay. And I understand that when we're talking about folks who've been through this, there have actually been some of the police officers' wives who go through this.
That's correct. We have had a couple of them go through, and it's very interesting for them to see exactly what all is involved in their husbands' lives and in their jobs.
It's one thing to hear them come home and tell the story. It's another thing to actually see what they're doing out in the field. Kenny, you mentioned about the budget cuts. You're hoping to do this twice a year, but at least you're able to do it once a year, and I'm sure this this is something you want to hopefully continue on even after you've left office.
Right. I think it's one of those programs that needs to go. It doesn't matter what administration is here, who the boss is. This is a program for the citizens and for the department, and I think it needs to go on forever. It's an excellent program.
And as we mentioned, it takes place out at the Adams Center Road facility. Kind of, while we're at it, give us a little update on, I know the development out here continues.
Right. We have a 200-acre area out here. We're still looking for money to build the driving course. Our ranges are pretty much done, and the citizens will see that when they come out here. They get to see what we've been talking about in the news for the last several years, what a lot of donated money has done, some money from the county, but this is a state-of-the-art facility that this is the beginning, and we're going to continue to have this grow through my administration, through the next administrations, because this is another one of those projects we need to get done.
Well, it sounds like a great opportunity. We hope folks will take advantage of it if they have the opportunity to, but again, something that you want to really commit to and to be a part of. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it. Look forward to hearing more about the Citizens Academy in the future.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Just kind of taking it easy out here at Fox Island. That's going to do it for this edition of County Line. Don't forget that you can see this program and any of our other previous County Line programs online through either our YouTube channel, Allen County Info, or go to our video on demand service that we share with the City of Fort Wayne and the Allen County Public Library. We have our past County Line programs as well as past Commissioners' legislative sessions, Allen County Council meetings, Planning Commission meetings, Board of Health meetings, and other events from county government. You can find both the video on demand service and our YouTube channel links on our homepage, www.allencounty.us. I'm Mike Green, Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office, and we will see you next time on County Line.